It got to her. I really don't know where to start, but I'll say that I found out that my wife cheated on me back in September. It was with an old friend of hers, and I found out through her text messages and phone logs. She admitted to an emotional affair with kissing, but she would not admit to sleeping with him. She even denied the affair for the first week. The only reason why she told the truth was because I talked to the other man and he told me that they had a relationship and that he was sorry. He said it was only emotional and they did not sleep together. I told her mother and her sister and they pressured her to tell me the truth. Up until then, she swore that they were just friends and she said that I was just making up everything. I was devastated and I wanted to leave her. The only reason why I decided to stay was for my kids' sake, and she begged me to give the marriage another shot and said that she was sorry. After about a week of fighting, I tried to get things to go back to normal. I tried to hug and kiss her and I told her that we will find a way to fix things. I won't say that I am perfect because I am not. I served 9 years in the military and got injured. I'm a 70% disabled veteran and I receive services from the VA. I've been depressed over the years and went through bouts of myself and loneliness. I have a few acquaintances and no close friends. I have been seeing a therapist at the VA for the past few years and I have taken medication to help. I've been told by my therapist that I'm too nice. She says that I am the type of person that will do anything to make everyone else happy even if it means that I'm not happy. She says that I agree with other people's opinions so I can be accepted. It kind of hurt to hear that and I didn't even want to believe it. It's funny because she told me that a few years back and now I'm starting to see that it was true. I'm only telling this part about myself because it relates to the issues with my wife. We rarely had slept together the past few years. When we first got together, bonding was great, multiple times per day and during the week. A few years back, she said she didn't want to do anything anymore. This made me upset, but I, like a dummy, just gave in. Then after that, she said that bonding is painful. I felt really bad about that and that's when the dysfunction started. Since 2010, I've had a really tough time. Tried meds and it works sometimes, but 90% of the time, I just can't. She always blamed me and said that it was my problem. She's even asked me a few times if I was gay. I've gotten my testosterone checked and it was fine. It works in the morning when I wake up and I am okay around other women. I felt really bad thinking I had a bad problem at such a young age, but now after all these years, I'm starting to see that she had just as much to do with this as me, if not more. For one, she always liked sleeping with the kids in the room. Even now, our oldest sleeps in a bed on the side of the room and the 3-year-old sleeps in the bed with her. I have told her countless times that the kids need to sleep in their own room. We have a 3-bedroom home, and that we can't sleep together with them in there. Also, she never really touches me physically or makes me feel wanted. I don't get massages or anything else that I hear other men get. Our kisses are pretty much pecks and we've been living like roommates. I've tried giving her compliments and touching her physically, but all she says is thanks. I see now that she has created an environment where it's impossible for us to sleep together because she doesn't want to. Even the therapist has told her that the kids should sleep in the other room, but she doesn't listen. I know that if she was dating another new man, nobody would have to tell her to put the kids in another room when he came because she would do it automatically. There have been other hints over the years too. Before I found out about her affair, I noticed she deleted me from her social media pages. If you look at her pictures and status, you will never know she was married to me. For a while, we used to fight because she never wore her ring. She would call me jealous and me being a nice guy, would always give in. So back to what is going on now, she doesn't feel that her affair was her fault. She says that I drove her to cheat. On top of that, she doesn't even think it was an affair at all since they didn't sleep together. I don't even believe that because if we weren't bonding, how could she not sleep with him since she liked him so much? We had a big fight about a week ago and I told her that I was sorry that I even found out about the affair. I told her, is there any way we can start over and work on our marriage? She said that she thinks that it's better that we separate. I told her that if we separate, I am gone for good and I am not coming back. She said, "Oh, you'll be back. What does that even mean?" After that, I told her that I wanted a divorce and I immediately went online and printed out the packet. I filled out what I needed to and I wrote down all the bills and told her that she needs to pay half while I'm living there. She looked sad but just said okay. I was all set to start the process last Monday, but I spoke to my therapist beforehand. She told me it might be better to just separate and cool off for a while because I could always start the process later. Since then, I've moved all my things to the guest room. When she tries to talk to me, I barely say a word to her. I pretty much just interact with the kids and I've only spoken to her when it's concerning the kids. I'm tired of being run over and lied to. I know that I've always been a nice person and that's something that I used to be proud of. I see now that people, even my own wife, take advantage of that in life. Right now, she has so much confidence that it just makes me furious. She's lost weight and bought new clothes and underwear. It just makes me upset. Ideally, I would want to work things out, but I'm just tired of her trying to run over me. Is it worth trying to patch things up with her? Would sleeping in the other room lead to more problems down the line? She said before that I'm jealous and she doesn't like that I check her phone. Now, I try not to even look in her direction. It just bothers me all the time because I feel like this last 10 years was taken from me and it's all I can think about. If things stay sour, I will move out sometime next year and start my new life. Until then, I need something to keep me holding on and getting over her. As much as I love her, I know I can do better one day. This has been consuming my mind 24 hours a day, and when I'm not working out or sleeping, it's all that's on my mind. Is this worth patching up, or am I doing right by sleeping alone and ignoring her? Well, I've been trying to detach, but it's hard. I still think about what happened a lot, and it doesn't help that we still love together. She thinks that if we separate, we will start to miss each other and maybe we can get back together. Is it how separation works? As far as I'm concerned, we've already been separated when you factor in the detached emotions, cheating, and lack of intimacy. That's why I said I wanted a divorce when she said she wanted to separate. I also don't see how being apart is supposed to somehow make us come closer. Either way, we'll always have to be in each other's lives since we have kids together. I am starting to work on myself by losing weight, and I'm trying to get the confidence I need to move on with my life. As of now, I'm not in a financial position to move out, so I will be staying in the other room at least for a few months until I can save up some cash and get my own place. It sucks because my oldest has made a few comments about me sleeping in the other room, but I told him that I was just reading and I fell asleep. Every time we talk, it ends up leading to an argument and I get furious. I'm trying to learn to get to the point where nothing she says can bother me or push my buttons. I told her today that I can find another woman that would treat me 1,000 times better, and I told her that for now on, I consider myself single and she should do the same. She was quiet when I told her all of this, and I also told her that she can date who she wants and I don't care who it is. All she said was that she knows that I do care, but she is not interested in dating anyone else. That hurts because no matter how hard I try to pretend that I don't care about her, the truth is that deep down I do care and I don't want to see her with anyone else. For now, I'm just trying to work on myself and get my life back on track, so if it doesn't work out, I can move on to something better. The way she is, fixing things would require me to be on my knees begging her to try to fix the marriage. She says she's sorry for what she did, but I really don't feel that she means it. She doesn't take 50% of the responsibility for our problems, so I don't see how I can fix things unless I put myself down like I've been doing all of our marriage. I've tried so hard to remain calm and have a normal conversation, but every single time, she knows exactly what to say to get me fired up. I don't know if she does it on purpose, but most of our fights ends up with my yelling and angry. Yesterday, I was thinking about the lack of bonding a lot, so I asked her if she thinks that she shares some of the responsibility for the lack of bonding. She said that the problem is mine because she was fine physically. I asked her if she had another man come to the house for a good time, would that man need to tell her to send the kids to the other room, or would she do it on her own without him saying anything? Of course, in my mind, I know she would accommodate him and have the bedroom all nice with the kids gone so she could be with him. Anyway, she didn't want to answer me and said that she doesn't have to answer that question. We went back and forth on it and it just got me fired up for no reason. She thinks she doesn't need to explain herself to me even though we've been married for 10 years. As far as telling her that she can date who she wants, I don't know how I can retract that without looking weak. Deep down, I want this woman to change and I want to reboot my marriage. I don't want to see her with someone else right now, but I'm trying to show her that I can forget her and move on with my life if need be. I told her literally that she can mess with anyone she wants and I don't care. It's funny, every time I talk about dating other women or getting someone much better than she never really says anything, but I can tell that she doesn't like the thought of me being with someone else. Should that bring me any hope to saving my marriage? We are meeting with the therapist on Monday and I really don't know how things will go. My whole life is a mess right now. I really am trying. It's hard right now because it's always on my mind, but I'm hoping it gets easier with time. If we are able to repair the marriage, the only way I'm in is if we are able to take 50-50 responsibility of all the problems. I took 100% of every problem we had before, and this is what it got me. Anytime she tries to fire me up, I'll just tell her that I don't see it that way and I'll just walk away. If I stay and argue, all that's going to happen is unproductive arguing and yelling. It's funny because when I first found out about the cheating, she came around to saying that she was sorry and wanted to work on the marriage. Now she's twisted it around to saying that it was my fault and she's only human. I hope this gets easier over time because right now, it really sucks. I don't know how many men are in the loop, but she has told me a few times that the guy she cheated with has no intention of leaving his wife. The way it came out, it was in a way to suggest that she wanted him to leave his wife so they could be together. I've also checked her computer history since then. I try not to check, but it's hard not to when I'm home alone, and I see that she looks at his Facebook pics all the time. Also, I sent her a friend request last night and I see that she declined it. I did screw up also the other day before I posted here by telling her I was sorry I snooped and sorry that I found out about everything. I asked her if we had another chance, and that's when she suggested we separate. I didn't even believe what I said, but I only said it as a last resort to try and save my marriage. Her response really woke me up, and you are right, I will not fix things unless she takes responsibility for what she did. Since I've been reading here, I've learned that she takes all the responsibility for what she did. Human or not, she shouldn't have cheated. She said so much to hurt me that I have been trying to piss her off by coming up with my own quips even if they aren't true. I'm already trying to detach myself and move on, but one of the main problems I'm having is finding that balance of communication. Normally, I'm pretty friendly and always engaging her in conversation, but now, I barely say a word to her unless it's absolutely necessary. But it creates a strong tension between us. I'm working on creating that balance where I can engage in normal conversation with her without talking about the marriage, and I'm working on showing her that I'm moving on. I'd say that I'm already severely damaged considering that this whole ordeal has been consuming my mind and time, and I'm struggling to get through my day without feeling down and out about what happened. I'm working to build myself up to where I can live without her, but honestly, I can't even see myself getting to that point right now. Maybe it'll get easier over time, so for now, I'll just continue to read and work on myself and try to do things to get my mind off of her. I'll bring it up on Monday at the therapist since that's the only environment that I think we can talk without me losing my cool. I'll tell her that I won't tolerate her bringing other men to the house or around my sons while I'm there. As far as telling her she can't date other men in general, what's the point in that? I've been telling her that for years and she still did it behind my back. The clues have been there for years and I'm sure there are other guys that I don't know about. The point I'm making is that even if I tell her not to talk to other men, she's just going to do it if she wants. That's why I told her that I don't care, because I thought that would make it easier for me to move on. I've started to do a few things on that list, but not all. It's really hard because it seems like she's also following the list. She seems distant, doesn't speak unless spoken to, and very happy. She is not the type to read or go on message boards, but she has a lot of friends who give her advice. It hurts because it creates a lot of tension, especially when the kids are not at home. I'm assuming it should get easier over time. Well, we had the counseling session earlier today. She doesn't want to stay together at this point. She says that we should separate or divorce. Her reasoning for wanting a divorce is because I printed the packet last week and came up with the idea. She said she initially wanted to separate and the counselor thought it was a good idea. He said that we should come up with a plan on separation and try to set boundaries. I really don't know how separating will help us though. She thinks that if we separate, we will start to miss each other and maybe we can start over. I really don't see things that way. I mean, what will I miss? Getting cheated on, being lied to, being plan B. That's why I was quick to ask for a divorce last week. I do regret asking for a divorce now because now she is running with the idea. In my mind, we've been separated for a long time now. Now she even said at counseling that separation may not work since things won't change anyway. She barely takes any of the responsibility for what has happened. She claims she's human. Well, hello, I'm human too. You need intimacy. I need it too. We talked about bonding and I explained to them how she's created an environment where we can't sleep together. She's never shown me any intimacy for the past 2 years. Back when things were better, I tried hard to be intimate. I would give her massages or sneak up on her and kiss her on the neck. I would send her I love you texts at work and I would send flowers to her job. My day revolves around the kids and taking classes during the day and working at night. I don't have all the time in the world to be running behind her, but I thought the sacrifice of what I was doing was going to pay off one day. So, I asked her today at counseling why she cheated on me, and you know what the answer was. It was because he showed her attention. I feel like I have been wasting my energy on this woman and I felt so hurt by that. Every time I tried to show her love and attention, I never got any back, and it in turn made me feel insecure and I thought something was wrong with me. I really just can't understand how things have come to this. She wants attention, but all she does is come home and sit on her bottom watching Netflix. I feel that she has been using me to maintain the family and household while she goes out to have fun. Between my disability and my work, all our bills are covered. Before then, I would let her keep her salary to buy whatever she wants. The only thing she was responsible for was the electricity bill. So, I gave her a list last week and said that she is responsible for half of the house note, my son's school tuition, cell phone bill, and our car insurance. I don't think that was asking too much. She said okay, but I still have not received one dime. Oh, and she said that I'm welcome to stay at the house for as long as I need to. Thanks a lot for that, sweetie. She knows that I can't afford to pay every bill here plus pay for an apartment somewhere else. That's why I need her to cover half the bills so I can save a little more and move on. In some weird, twisted sort of way, she may be trying to keep me here long enough until either she finds another guy to move in with or until I miss her so much that I'm literally back in the bedroom on my knees begging her to give the marriage another shot. If she was sincere about moving on, she would have given me her share of what I asked. Sorry to be all over the place, but my life is in pieces. I don't know how to shake this, but it's just occupying my mind every second of the day. It's driving me crazy and I really don't know what to do. As much as I hate to say it, I still love her. I miss being close to her and I miss what I thought we had. However, I will not submit to her and I will not bring myself down and take the blame for her affair. As tough as it is, I will only work on the marriage if she is willing to do most of the heavy lifting. If we didn't have kids, it would be much easier, but I keep thinking about how much this will hurt them, especially my oldest. I trust that she can be a good mom, but I do not think she can raise them to be men. Hell, both of them still sleep in the bedroom right now. So, I'm still sleeping in the other room and I will try my best not to say a word to her. I hope things get easier over time because it really sucks right now. I feel like I wasted 10 years of my life and I don't even know how to start over. I do really appreciate all the advice here, and although I never thought I would end up someplace like this, it's good to know that a support system does exist. My days are busy taking care of the work and kids, and I also take a few classes. I do work around the house without her even telling me, and I do manage to send a few love you text or call to see how she is doing. Still, she said he showed her attention. Of course, he's showing her attention because he wants to get in her pants. I'm out doing all the work for the family while she talks to him all day every day. I just can't compete with that. I see that now. On that note, I will say that I've been feeling better the past couple days. I've been losing weight, bought a few shirts, and even took myself to the movies. I only speak to her even if I have to, and even then, I prefer to text if I can. I just feel so much better not talking and not getting upset. There's one thing I'm wondering about in hindsight. Ever since I found out she cheated, it's been something I thought about every single day. The therapist said that it will take time to just stop thinking about it. Almost every time we fight, I bring it up and she gets upset. She said that I'm trying to brainwash her by keep bringing it up. She gets mad when I talk about it and says that I'm hurting her when I talk about it. Is it wrong for me to bring it up? I've tried to keep it to myself, but it's something that I'm always thinking about, and sometimes I even have more questions about what happened. I don't know if I just need closure about her cheating or if it's just going to take me some time to get over it. I do still have a lot of regrets, but at the end of the day, I realize that it was her decision alone to cheat. It just sucks knowing that there was nothing I could have done to prevent this from happening. I know that there may be someone out there that can appreciate someone like me, but honestly, I'm just not confident enough yet to jump back on the dating scene. Either way, I think my conscience will be clear soon because I know that whatever happens next for her, she brought it on herself. I did a total of 9 years active duty. I did 4 tours overseas and was injured during my last tour. I was 170 and in shape when we met, and I maintained that weight during the service since it was a requirement. The injury slowed me down quite a bit and I ended up getting medically discharged back in 2009. During 2010 to 2012, I was a mess and suffered pretty bad with depression and suicidal thoughts, mostly due to my injury. Luckily, the VA had my back and I got a lot of help. I have worked out since then, but it's not as much as it was back when I was on active duty. Since I got out, my weight got up to 225 pounds as of a couple weeks ago. I'm already down to 211 since I've been eating a lot less and working out a lot more. Some days I don't even feel hungry, and I think that's because I spend a lot of time thinking about what she did. As far as moving back into the bed, I really don't think that's an option at this point. I'm really not interested in sleeping in the same bed right now. I've moved all my clothes in the guest room and I've been there. It just feels so much better to be able to avoid her every day, and it gives me a chance to think. When we are in constant contact, she has an attitude and she likes to do things to get me fired up. When I'm alone and I feel these emotions, I go out to the garage and pound away on my punching bag. I already filled out the paperwork for divorce but did not file yet. I guess she wants to separate, but we haven't talked about it since last Monday. She still hasn't given me one dime to go on the bills this month, so I don't know how she expects me to leave. If it wasn't for the kids, I would just stop paying for the house and let it go. They have all their things here and I don't want to see them suffer, so I'm just holding it together for their sake. Sadly, I think you are right about her not being attracted to me and not being in love. As much as that hurts, I know I can get over that and move on to something better. I hate making excuses, but I have gotten bigger since I got out and she has commented on my weight in the past. Still, that's no excuse for her to go out and cheat. For the second time this month, she has asked me what she has to pay and how much. She says she needs to know so she can start managing her money. I texted her the amounts again this morning. Since we've been living in our home, she has not paid one house note. Yes, you read that right. Not even one. I have always taken care of her car insurance every month. I'm always the one that goes to the store and buy food. Almost every single item in our house has been paid for by me. Yes, she has bought the kids' clothes and she has been paying the electric bill for the past 2 years. All of her money goes towards clothes and shoes. It just hit me this morning how disconnected she is, since she doesn't even know how much our house note is, and we bought the house back in 7. I know all this materialistic stuff doesn't matter since she would get half in a divorce. But you know what? I feel that I shouldn't continue to lie down anymore for a woman that doesn't respect me. I texted her this morning and told her that since I wasn't the one that cheated, I'm not going anywhere. I told her she is welcome to go whenever she wants. All she did was text me back and say, "I knew you weren't going to leave." She knows that I still want to work things out, so maybe that's where she's getting that from. Either way, it's not fair for me to sit around stressed out about how I'm going to live once I go, especially when I didn't do anything wrong. I haven't been the perfect husband, but she has disrespected me for years and I'm tired of it. She hasn't texted me back yet, so we'll see if she says anything when I get back home. I'm not even going to do the heavy lifting for the divorce anymore. If she hates me so much and wants to separate, she can leave tomorrow and I would be happy. If she wants to divorce so bad, she can have her lawyer contact me. She said before that she wanted to stay in the house since the kids like it, but I'm sure the kids weren't a factor when she was out screwing around. In my mind, it works out better for her if she goes because she couldn't afford to stay here anyway because she doesn't make enough to cover the house and all the bills. I will be the first to admit that I do want to work things out with her, but I will not lie down for her anymore. If it doesn't work out, I can move on to something better. I thought I was doing her a favor pampering her for her whole life because that's how I was raised. Now it's time for her to face the music. I've been doing good for almost a week now, and part of the reason is because we just don't talk at all. We literally pass by each other in the house and don't say anything unless it's something urgent. Even now, it's hard to control my temper. If you met her, you would think that she was the sweetest woman in the world. When she talks to me, even if it's the smallest thing, she is nasty and cold. I don't know if she hates me that much or if she is just trying to get a reaction out of me. So, my question is, how the hell do you not get mad at someone that treats you like crap? I'm still working on finding the answer to that one, but man, she does have a way of setting me off. Of course, all of this started a few weeks back when we were fighting all of the time and eventually started talking about divorce. Someone here said that maybe she does that so if she gets a rise out of me, she can justify her affair in her mind. I'm starting to believe that now. So, the last time we had a meaningful conversation, at the counselor, the plan was to separate. She seemed upset by the idea, and to me, it seemed like she wanted to go forward with divorce. When the counselor asked her what she wanted, she said either separation or divorce. That right there should tell me that she doesn't really want to work it out right. The plan was for me to save up for a few months and move out and separate until we decide whether or not we are going to divorce. I just flipped it around today and told her that she needs to move out since I'm not the one that cheated and she contributes little to nothing to the house. You are right though, deep down, I do have a little hope that she will see what she's had all this time and it would be enough to wake her up and make her do the heavy lifting to save the marriage. Are you saying that me asking her to leave would not be motivation enough for her to try to fix things? Do you think I should just skip the separation altogether and go straight to filing the papers for divorce? Is divorce going to be the only thing that makes her wake up? Also, if I did get a lawyer and asked for the house, how does the judge determine who actually gets it? When we fought in the past, she used to tease that she has plenty of places to go and that she chooses to stay because the kids like it. Now I'm calling her out on it and I want her to call her those friends to see if they have room for her to move in. Yes, I do still love her. However, I will say that the more I read and realize what my life has become, the decision of divorce is much easier. I know that lots of women would love to take her place, and if things don't work out with her, I know I can move on to something better. I think my weight gain does play a role in the ed, but I don't think it's a huge factor. I've had testosterone tests in the past and I've been told that they're fine. It works in the morning when I wake up and I can get an erection at any other time other than when we are together. When I think of being physically with her, the first thing that pops in my mind is resentment and anger, and I think that plays a major role. I think that we share this problem and it's not just my fault. The more and more time passes, the easier things are getting. In addition to telling her that she needs to leave, I've been ignoring her completely. We only talk when it's about the kids and we still sleep separately. I have noticed that since I've been doing all of this, her attitude has changed. She has a much worse attitude problem and she's been trying her best to set me off. Today I needed to write an address for her and she threw the pen and paper on the table like I discussed her. I didn't say anything. I just picked up the pen and wrote the address. This is huge for me since normally it would have set me off. It's almost like she is becoming frustrated that I'm not even giving her the benefit of the day. I don't know if we will try to fix the marriage, and the next marriage appointment is in another week. Besides the emotional loss and possibly my kids, I have absolutely nothing to lose if she leaves. Her, on the other hand, will have to change her whole lifestyle. No more Coach and MK bags for her. She will need to learn how to survive on her own and have to sacrifice for the kids. She's been taking care of her entire life, and she even admitted to me a while ago that she's afraid to be out on her own. That same day, she teased me that she has plenty of friends that would let her move in. That was back when I thought that I should move out because it was the right thing to do. She knows that I have few friends and none that I'm comfortable with asking to move in with. With that being said, I don't think I would be able to believe her if she came to me today and told me that she wanted to work on the marriage. For all I know, she could just be settling for me in hopes that she can go back to her worry-free life of online shopping, Netflix, and screwing her lover. I don't even know if there is anything that she can do to prove to me that she really loves me and that she will start respecting me. The more and more I think about this, the more logical divorce seems. Also, I still haven't received 1 penny of her share of the bills. I know when we eventually talk about it, she will claim that she forgot or she spent it all on holiday gifts. That right there shows me how much she respects me. I've been doing okay. I've dropped 15 pounds already and I'm looking to drop another 10 before the new year comes. I've been spending most of my free time around the house painting, working in the garage, and spending time with the kids. I took them bowling yesterday and we're going to see a movie on tomorrow. I've been reconnecting with a few old friends and we plan to get together soon for a jam session. I'm sleeping in the other room and I barely have any contact with her. We did have a conversation earlier and it was a bit awkward. First, she told me out the blue to take her car off the car insurance since she's going with another company, and also to cancel her phone as she is going with another service. Normally, in these situations, I would ask her why and try to plead with her. Instead, I just told her okay and that it would be effective immediately. I went online and took her car off the policy, and that knocked $1K off of the total premium. There's a part on there where you are supposed to tell them what company you switched to, and when I asked her, she said she didn't know which one she was going with. I'm thinking it was a bluff because she didn't really think I was going to cancel it. The change is effective Monday, so I told her that as of Tuesday, she will not have any car insurance unless she finds another company on her own. As for the phone, I was ready to call and cancel it, but now she said that she needs until the end of the month and she also wants to keep her number. I think this was all a ploy to get a rise out of me or to get me begging her again to try to make things work. She also initiated a talk about our future. She asked me why I decided to stay and told her that she could leave. I told her that I know we had problems, but at the end of the day, I did nothing wrong. She cheated, so she needs to leave. She tried so hard to get a rise out of me, but I just kept thinking about what I read here and I never raised my voice. At no point did I feel that she had power over me. She did say if she moves out, it will be because of insert list of marriage problems here. I didn't think about it until later, but she said if and not when. Anyway, I stood my ground and told her that I'm not rushing her, but the sooner she leaves, the better. I told her that if she leaves tomorrow, I will not miss her at all. That really hurt me to say that, and even she said, "Are you serious?" when I said that. I told her that the decision is easy for me because I refuse to be with a woman that doesn't respect me. I told her that since she loves her friends so much and bragged about having lots of people to move in with, she could call one of them and see if they have room on their couch. At the end, she said she would leave and that she would need some furniture and a TV for the kids. Honestly, I don't know what she wants. She never mentioned divorce, so I'm thinking she is hoping that her moving out will somehow rekindle our love and we can start over. Maybe that could happen, but I don't know. Anyway, that's where we are. We have another appointment with the counselor on Tuesday and she has expressed a lot of interest in going. That's new because before, it was me that had to push her into going. I'm still keeping my guard up for now and I'm still focused on the kids. I don't want them to look back at this time and have any bad memories, especially since it's the holidays. As far as the cheating, I forgive her. It's going to take some time for me to get over the trust issues, but I do forgive her. The thing that has me leaning towards divorce is the fact that she doesn't respect me. For years, I always felt that I was number 2 in her life, with her friends being number 1. I always put my own feelings and needs aside just so she could be happy. I've always took responsibility for the problems in our marriage, and it's always been my job to fix things. When I look back at our arguments in the past, it was always about something that I did or didn't do. She never took responsibility for the problems in our marriage and I allowed it to happen. I have a lot of resentment and anger in my heart, which is why I'm leaning towards divorce. If she can somehow change her ways, take half of the ownership for the problems in our marriage, and make me get the feeling that she respects me, then I'm willing to work on the marriage. Sadly, I think she is too oblivious to my needs and she won't change. When I told her that I feel that she doesn't respect me, she said, "I don't even know what that means." I told her that she'll realize it one day. Also, in her mind, she didn't cheat since she didn't sleep together. I told her that it doesn't matter and that even if she did cheat physically, the emotional involvement is much worse in my eyes. She was adamant about having the counseling session and we went earlier. During the session, she pretty much said that she plans to leave this Saturday and either stay with her sister or get her own place. It didn't really sound like she had a plan in place. She said that she wants to be close to her job as well as his school. I mentioned how I didn't see the use in separating when I've been disrespected for so long. I was blindsided with her mentioning leaving this weekend since Christmas is next week and I earned the kids to spend the holiday at home with their tree and all their gifts. The counselor pretty much gave us guidance on getting a lawyer and getting therapy for our oldest. That thought scares me since my oldest has little to no idea that something is wrong and he is about to be blindsided. We ended the session not making a follow-up appointment since we agreed that divorce is the only option. I could add that divorce is my idea while she is keen on separation. Anyway, we get outside and I ask her if she is happy. I told her that this is what she wanted and she should be happy. I also wished her luck and told her that I would get a truck if she needed help moving this weekend. She started crying and cried more and more until she got in her car and went back to work. So now I'm confused. I thought she wanted the single life and I thought this is what she wanted. A few weeks back, I put myself down telling her that I'm sorry and that I want to fix things. She looked me in my eye and told me it's better we separate and I will miss her. Since then, I told her that I would not miss her if she left tomorrow. She doesn't believe me, but I was serious. Now I don't know what to think. It's almost like she wants me to get on my knees and beg her to give the marriage another chance. I thought she would be happy that she is back on the market, but it seems to be just the opposite. Maybe she is just going to miss being taken care of since now everything is on her shoulders. I don't know what to make of all this. I mean, she hasn't even started trying to move and said it's just a few days away. On top of that, I don't know why she would move less than 1 week before Christmas. Our oldest is looking forward to it as all his gifts are already under the tree. If she wants to work things out, she needs to just come out and tell me. Not playing these stupid mind games. I'm done anyway. I'll try to enjoy the holiday if I can, then I will get a lawyer and start the divorce process. A week later, I have already started working on bettering myself, so that is a start. I've also come to realize that divorce is my only option, so I will be filing on tomorrow. I don't know what she wants, and honestly, I do not care. Every time I text, email her about details regarding the divorce, she ignores me like I didn't say anything. But believe me, if she needs something, she is blowing my phone up until I answer. She had the nerve to text me asking for the Netflix password, and I just ignored her. I don't think she wants a divorce, but I'm not going to sit around any longer while she decides who she wants to be. For now, I'll file and have her served at work. I don't trust or believe anything she says now, so I do not feel bad for making this decision. My comment: did you guys enjoy the ending of this one? Did OP do the right thing? Comment down and we will keep learning in the upcoming lessons.